Driver technology has come on leaps and bounds in the last 25 years. But how much does it actually influence the distance? Well, today we're going to find out. I'm excited about this video, I really am. In my hand I've got two Ping drivers. The big difference, they are 25 years apart in age. In this hand I've got the brand new Ping G430 driver. They're all singing, all dancing, state-of-the-art driver. Millions of pounds, dollars goes into R&D, research, development. The best players in the world are using this Ping driver. It's got literally technology at every single part of the golf club, from turbulators on top to the vortex weight here at the back, to being more streamlined, to having variable face thicknesses to produce the best ball speed, adjustable loft sleeve. The list goes on and on and on. And right now, if you're buying one of these brand new, it's £500, and you can pick them up, to be fair, second hand at around about £350. But so much development has gone into this. And this is now the state-of-the-art driver. Like, this has got everything. It was a different story back in 1998. This was the big driver, the Ping TI-SI titanium driver. Now, this hasn't got turbulators, surprise, surprise. It hasn't got adjustable weights. It hasn't got a loft sleeve. This is quite simply a 10-degree titanium driver that actually looks so unbelievably different to modern design. I think now, if you were to test this for aerodynamics, it would fail miserably because the face is so kind of flat, it's big, it's chunky. It's nowhere near the same size head as the brand new Ping driver. This is 460cc sized head. At a guess, this is probably in the low 300cc size head. The head size has changed dramatically. But what does that do to distance and performance? Well, let's find out. I'm going to hit the brand new Ping G430 driver first to get some baseline numbers, and then give this bad boy a hit. The driver is 25 years old. How will it perform? Will it still do the job? Can't wait to find out. Okay, first up, Ping 430. I've actually got the LS Tech version, and I've to match it up as much as possible because I can't adjust the loft of the older driver. I've put this up to 9.6 degrees of loft, and that one's 10. Right, let's kick things off. Beautiful head shape behind the ball. You can see packed full of technology. Pretty solid start. Okay, 270s are good. Can live with 270s. Okay, 272 carry out the blocks. I'm going to hit a bunch of shots and then we'll report back with performance and the data, and then we can compare it. Okay, so there's a pretty decent batch of the Ping drivers. Fairly consistent, just one I hit kind of quite a bit left, but all in all, pretty solid. Before I show you those numbers, let's jump into the old driver and then at the end we'll do a comparison. So here we go, the Ping TI-SI Tech titanium driver. Like I say, back in the day, picture the scene, 1998, this was the best driver being released. Like, this is, you know, I remember I'd only really just started playing golf at that time. I remember vaguely this coming out, and it was like plastered all over the front of golf magazines. There was no YouTube back then. It was all magazines or newspaper articles, etc. And it would all be talking about this driver. What's interesting though, like technology, how much it's moved on in 25 years. Like I say, there's no real big technology story. It's just a big lump of titanium driver, obviously a hollow head design, on a very unusual kind of neck. Like the neck going into the driver is very unusual. You don't see that much anymore. The shaft I've got in this is a True Temper. Obviously the True Temper is still around, and a Karma grip. This looks like a grip that's been put on after. Now, because again, this driver came out 1998, struggling to find the actual original price of this driver. If we've found it, we'll put it in here, but if not, there's question marks over the price. But this was the best thing since sliced bread when it first came out. Right, let's get hitting. It's a lovely shape, to be honest with you. It's kind of a bit like a frying pan to some degree. It's very flat topped. And you know what, before I hit this first shot, the one thing I'm also noticing, the tee height that I normally use isn't going to work here. That's way too tall for this driver. You actually have to go slightly smaller tee. I don't think the really long tees were around back in the late 90s. That's better. That looks more like, I mean, that looks too small normally, but for this driver, that's perfect. Right. What can it do? What is the difference in 25 years? Let's find out. I'm intrigued to know about the sound as well. I think it's going to sound very, very different. Oh, wow. The sound was so high pitched. Okay, we've got one out the blocks. I don't think that's the best shot yet. That was I have hit this driver before many years ago, but I've forgotten how loud it is. Okay, I'm gonna hit a bunch of shots and then we'll dive into the data. So that was a bit off the bottom, but it's a nice flight. Not as high as I'm normally used to seeing, a little bit more of a flatter flight. That's a nice shot. That's a really nice shot. That came out a little bit nicer, that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Big fan of that shot. Okay, the results are in. Quite interesting actually. With the brand new Ping G430 driver, there was a lot of consistency in there. Like, I've averaged carry distance at 275 yards. I think one of my worst shots was in the low 270s. One of my better shots were in the high 270 yards. Like I said, I hit that kind of one rogue one that went left, but overall consistency was good with that. And that, for me at the moment where I'm swinging, they're pretty solid numbers. Going into this, the 25-year-old driver, a couple of standout features. First off, the sound was totally different. So different. But the actual performance was solid. Now, I definitely saw a little bit of dispersion front and back. However, average carry distance with the Ping TI SI from 25 years ago was 254 yards. There's a 21-yard difference between these two drivers, almost a yard per year, not far off that. What was the interesting factor? Clubhead speed weren't that dissimilar. In fact, some of the older Ping drivers, because of the size of the head, actually swung a little bit faster, but the ball speed was down by 5 miles per hour, and the spin rate with the old one was up. Obviously, there's no real weight difference. You can't change the weight, you can't move it around, etc. And I'm using the lower spin model of the Ping driver because you can now, because that's what's available, where you couldn't do that in the end. Very interesting. 25 years, not far off 25 yards. Even though brands claim to be hitting it 10 yards further every year, there are changes, slowly but surely, but not huge differences. Guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned, lots more to come, and we'll see you next time. Be sure to subscribe.